Hi, welcome to the show. I'm Suzanne, and I'm so glad that you're here. And I'm telling you, you are going to be so blessed and encouraged by my next friend and author. Her name is Effie, and she wrote the book called Shaken, Tormented, but Never Broken. Welcome, Effie. I'm glad that you're here today.
Thank you so much, Susan. I'm so glad to be here and I'm so excited. I want to tell my story to the whole world.
I can't wait for you to share it. First of all, I normally don't go through the bios. They're stiff and boring and everything. Yeah, yours not so much. I'm like, we have to hit your bio. Just going to kind of skim over it. You were born and raised in West Africa. You moved to the US in your early 20s. You're highly educated with a master's degree in engineering. You're a wife, a mom of three. You love to bake. You're an entrepreneur. You're an author. You make your own soaps and lotions. You love to fix things and you love fast cars. So you're making
Yes,
the bar very, very high for all of us women. Okay. You're like the
I hope
dream
not.
woman.
I hope not. I'm just a dreamer.
Well, the thing that's so wonderful about that is your many accomplishments, they weren't just handed to you. I mean, you struggled with some physical ailments, and that's what your book is basically about. Would you mind sharing about that?
Sure. I don't know which one, but I'll start with a heart issue. So I
Yeah.
was born with a congenital heart defect, atrial septal defect. Throughout my childhood in Cameroon, my parents or the doctors couldn't really figure out what the problem was. I was diagnosed with migraines, like severe migraines, but nobody ever thought that was connected to my heart. So we went to all kinds of hospitals, did all kinds of from acupuncture to whatever you can name it. Nothing helped me. So when I moved over to the US to continue my studies, I was living with this sweet family, angel friend, sister, auntie, cousin of mine,
Yeah.
Gladys, and
Mhm.
her husband, Charles. So they encouraged me to go to John Hopkins and have them diagnose or figure out what was giving me these migraines that would cause blackout and then I'll taste blood at the back of my throat. And so I went there and nothing, they couldn't figure out what was wrong. It's like nothing's wrong. And then I don't blame them too, because at that time I didn't have the attack. So sometimes it's really hard to diagnose what it is. But
Sure.
when I went to West Virginia to study, I was doing a master's in petroleum over there. So I had one of these incidents. And so I went to the doctor and they said it was panic attack. So where I come from, we don't do panic attack. That's what
Right,
I
right.
told the nurse. I'm like, we don't do panic attack. I don't think it is. Can you look into it and see what
Right.
it is?
That's for Americans. In Africa, we don't do panic attacks, right? We're not
We
stressed about
don't.
that.
They'll slap it out of you. So
Right,
it's
right, right. But
so
they found
and
out.
they found out that I had a hole. And
Mm,
so now we had to repair that hole and I had to come up with a large sum of money. And I didn't have that money.
sure.
But it didn't stop me from pursuing my dreams. It did not stop me from dreaming or trying to achieve what I wanted to achieve. I was just hoping and praying that someday God will make it possible. So Gladys and her husband even offered to pay about $20,000 and then and talk to the doctor and see if we could do payment plans for me to get that surgery. But they said, no, you don't have the money? Then sorry, we can't do anything for you. So my sister was living with me at the time. She couldn't just see me die. She thought her life
Oh,
was not worth anything, mine was worth more. So she started doing research and then she stumbled on Larry King. And when she mentioned, she gave me a letter and said, can you take this to the post office? I looked at her, who are you mailing this to? Larry King? I actually laughed at her. Are
wow.
you kidding me? You know how many people write to him?
Right,
Why do you
right.
think he's going to pick yours? And she insisted. Well, I dumped it on the table. 3 days later, she found it. So she said, take me to the post office. So I drove her and then she handed it to me. She's like, put it in the mailbox. Okay. Just to make her happy. She's my older sister, of course. So I put it
Yeah.
in. Exactly 1 week later, that same morning, the night before that morning, I went on my knees and I prayed to God because it was just too much. And I didn't want to call my parents and start asking them for money or let alone tell them what I was going through. I went on my knees and I said, Lord, I'm ready to go. If it's your will, let your will be done. I'm really ready to go right now. And that day, I got a call from Larry King.
Oh my
And,
gosh.
and he said he would take care of everything. And he really did. I went to the doctor. He flew me to the best cardiologist in DC, and everything was taken care of. I never saw a bill. And I went back home, well, with a device inside me. So I had ampulas that put in. So that was just number one. And a few years later, I got married, and of course, I wanted a kid. But before I got married, I told my husband I have some health challenges that you need to know about. And he was like, "It doesn't matter. That's okay. If you can't have kids, we're going to adopt." I said, "No, I'm not going to adopt. I'm going to have my own, unless there's no God." I know we walk into the doctor's office, and the doctor said you can have children. I said, "Well, he's not God. I want to have mine." And I walked out. I kept praying, praying and having faith. And I knew there was the only place I would get an answer is on my knees, go on my knees and talk to God. And so I prayed and I prayed, and we had a son. He was born on Christmas Day. And then you think that was all of it, but that was not all. 2 years after we had him, I started feeling bad again. And I learned how to listen to my body. So I knew something wasn't right. Went back to the doctor. I told him, I think something is not right. And so they checked, and he said, "I'm sorry to tell you, you have a second hole." I said, "Are you kidding me, doc? I don't know about anybody, any human being walking down the street with two devices. Are you telling me I'm going to be carrying two devices? Is that normal?" And then I asked him, "Well, can you fix it?" He said, "Yes." I said, "That's all I need. If you can fix it, then let me go talk to my man upstairs, and let's do this." And so I went back praying and praying after talking to my husband and told my family, praying, praying, praying. And then the day that we were supposed to go in for them to do all the things, measurements and whatever in preparation for the device, that's the day I woke up from the bed and I saw my husband going through papers like, show me what you were talking about. I'm like, what's going on? And I fell back and went back to sleep because I was, I had all this anesthesia in me. And then I woke up again, like, what's going on? And the doctor said, "We don't see a hole." So my last prayer before we went was, "Lord, take it away." That was my prayer that morning. And so it was gone. I mean, gone, no hole. And I said,
Effie,
"Oh."
you are walking miracle. I have a feeling that these stories just continue. What would you say to someone who's feeling so desperate and has never seen a miracle, maybe because they've never asked for a miracle? What would you say to them?
I would say have faith. It doesn't matter if you believe in God or not, but there's that one person that we all know he's a supreme being. Whatever you call him, Allah, whoever he is to you, go down on your knees and just believe that that one person can make it happen. Put your trust in him and faith. I know faith is not easy, like we say, but that should be that leap. Take that leap. Don't worry about the other side. Just do it. I
Yeah.
know, and be positive about it. And that's how I live. That doesn't mean I don't fall. Sometimes I do. But then I remember, like, if God took you through this because of faith, he can do it again. So I would
What
say have faith.
what would you want someone to take away from your book? What's the big takeaway for that?
Is never give up. It doesn't matter what you're going through. It doesn't matter if you have a death sentence on your hand. It doesn't matter if the doctor says you're done in 2 minutes. You're not done until you're done.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
don't give up. You just keep praying and having faith. And even if it happens that you don't get what you're expecting, with that faith, maybe what you get is better than what you're expecting.
Yeah. Yeah. Effie, I'm sorry we're running out of time. Do you have any final thoughts of what you'd want to share?
I'm here for everybody. I really want to make myself available. And I know there are people out there suffering. There are people out there hurting, not knowing what to do with whatever they're going through. If you want to reach me, please do reach out to me, and I'll talk with you. I'll tell you my stories. And sometimes you just need a hand, someone to hold your hand, and or someone who's been there to let you know it's okay. I'm available any day, anytime.
Wow. Effie, thank you so much again. Effie wrote Shaken, Tormented, but Never Broken. Would you think about buying her book? You can get it on Amazon and several different places. And be sure to leave a review. If you get the book, it just helps authors so much. Effie, thank you for sharing the miracle of your life with us. And I have a feeling there's many more to come. So we're going to need to check back in with you.
Thank you, Susan.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.